trip on this.
I'm going to carry this.
You got it? Okay. So we don't lose it. Ready? Good afternoon, all. Good afternoon and welcome to Advocacy Day and the Rally for Non-Public School Students today. My name is Tim Benz. I'm president of Independent. We're the largest statewide organization supporting the private and independent schools. And thank you for joining us today. And we are here to send a unified and resounding message to the governor and legislators to oppose the elimination of non-public pupil services and transportation aid, right?
And I'm Jason Adkins. I'm Executive Director of the Minnesota Catholic Conference, the public policy voice of the Catholic Church in Minnesota. We are so delighted that you are here and grateful for your presence today. As you know, Governor Walz and the Minnesota Senate have advanced proposals to completely erase critical services for students in non-public schools, nurses, counselors, busing, and learning materials. Folks, what do you think of that?
Well, today we're going to hear from school administrators, students, elected officials, and others who want to share how important these essential services are to our students and families in all of our schools and how devastating these impacts would be. And today, we must deliver a clear message to the governor and legislators that they should listen to their constituents and uphold a promise that was made 50 years ago to support all students regardless of their school choice.
Friends on three, support all students. 1, 2, 3. Support all students! We begin by hearing from some of our important school leaders. Raise your hand if you're a school leader. Let's give them a big shout out. We welcome to the podium Benito Matias. Benito is a champion of non-public schools and students and the principal of Ascension Catholic School in North Minneapolis. Welcome, Benito.
Now I feel like a celebrity. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for being here. We really, truly appreciate your support. As was mentioned, my name is Benito Matias. I have the honor and the privilege of serving as the principal at Ascension Catholic School in North Minneapolis. I had the privilege of attending an event this past weekend put on by the Northside Achievement Zone, also known as NAS. NAS, huge shout out. They're also located in North Minneapolis, and the president and CEO of NAS, Sandra Samuels, actually read an excerpt from the late, great John Lewis, a letter, of course, that he wrote before he passed away, but he had a specific request that that letter would not be read until after he passed away. And the gist of that letter, I'm just paraphrasing, is that it is now our turn that he's gone. And what that means is we have to recognize and stand up to injustices. And it's our opportunity to stand up and do something about those different things. And so when we think about injustice and we talk about the state of Minnesota supporting counseling, supporting nursing, supporting textbooks, for them to say that they're no longer going to do that is an injustice. And when we have across the country a challenge with absenteeism for the state of Minnesota to then turn around and say, we're no longer going to support the transportation that gets our scholars to and from school every day just because they attend a non-public school, is an injustice. When we think about that funding that we receive from the state, and it's an injustice for the state to turn around and say that they're no longer going to support us in that, that's not okay. And at Ascension Catholic School in North Minneapolis, we serve one of the most marginalized communities in the state of Minnesota. And while we always have room to improve, we do a pretty darn good job. About 99% of our scholars over the past 10 years that have graduated from Ascension have gone on to graduate from high school. So while we're not perfect, I think we're doing something right. And in closing, I would just like to say, Governor Walz, your proposed elimination of non-public student aid does not represent one Minnesota. We just ask you please to reconsider the proposed cuts and do what's best for all of Minnesota. Thank you for your time.
How's that guy, huh? Woo! Man, sign me up, Benito. Next, we're going to bring up just an absolute champion, as Jason said about Benito, Dan Beckering. Dan is the head of school at Southwest Christian High School in Chaska, a fierce leader who's driven a school to unprecedented enrollment and expansion, and he's here to whip up the crowd as well. Dan.
Well, thank you, Tim, and thank you for being a part of this rally. So I do serve as a head of school at Southwest Christian High School. I'm also the Association of Christian Schools International's Minnesota State Rep. There are 33 ACSI schools in our state, and they serve over 8,000 students and their families. So I speak for more than just my school. You know, we're here today because we believe that parents know what's best for their students when they choose the type of school they want them to be educated in. And for about And for 50 years, our state, through these non-public pupil aids, has had a bipartisan commitment to making sure every student is supported equitably and that families can practice the right to freedom of choice in education. Governor Walz's plan will break that commitment, and it will reduce the freedom of choice many Minnesota families want to exercise. I've been speaking to school leaders all around the state about this issue. School leaders in rural and inner city districts that are telling me that they have students in their schools right now that will not be back next year if they cannot use the public transportation in their districts. Private school leaders that are asking me what they should do if they're forced to choose between letting school counselors and nursing services go or raising tuition. We're facing an epidemic in mental health issues with our young people. Cutting these services is going to harm private school students. And just simply asking private schools to raise tuition is going to keep families from even able to access a faith-based education. Our schools serve families from all socioeconomic backgrounds. And this proposal is going to hurt families of middle and lower income the most. They just can't pay more to get the things that their students need. And in closing, I just want to say I've been able to have the privilege for the last 24 years of witnessing firsthand the transformational impact faith-based education can have on young people. I've seen over and over again the positive impact our schools and our graduates are making on their communities. Eliminating this public pupil aid, this support, is a terrible idea. It's bad for our students. It's bad for our educational system. It will reduce school choice in this state, and it's bad for Minnesota. Thank you for your support.
Can I get everyone to hold up those great signs? Let's make a showing here. I want to call out these friends at the front. No child left unfunded. That's what we're here for today, is to make sure no child left unfunded. Can I get a cheer for that? Equal education for all, absolutely. Equal treatment for non-public school kids. Here we go.
And stop balancing the budget on kids, right? All right, so we've heard about what these programs and services, very important, do for our schools. What we want to hear is from people, from families and from students on what these do. So I'm happy to bring up Maureen, Anna, who are students at St. Agnes, and Anna's dad, Alex, wants to talk about why these are very important to their families.
Governor Walz, Ms. Steymuth, and legislators, please don't take away my school nurse. My name is Maureen, and I am a 7th grade student at St. Agnes School, just a few minutes walk from this very spot. I am suffering from a long-term chronic health condition. Because of my chronic disease, I suffer from headaches, nerve pain, insomnia, loss of ability to focus, and exhaustion. I have not been able to stay in school all year since 4th grade. This year was the first time I could stay in school all year. Throughout this time, I have relied on help from our school nurse. She helps so many students with health conditions, including my brother with his peanut allergy. I have friends with asthma, diabetes, food allergies, who all need the nurse. There are so many injuries that happen on the playground and on the athletic field, including another of my siblings who broke his arm at field day. The nurses take care of us all. It is a big help for me to know that I can go and rest as needed in a quiet and dark place with a nurse who is ready to help me with my problems and anything I may need, from medication to ice or a heating pad. Removing funding for our school nurse is unethical, unfair, and unconscionable. If you choose to defund the school nurse at my position, the school nurse position at my school, you are saying that you are not concerned about me being able to function in the school building. It may just seem like a vote to you, but it has a huge effect on me and my family and navigating my chronic illness through junior high and high school. Thank you for your consideration.
Hello, my name is Alex Sobieski. I'm a father of 4 lovely children who attend St. Agnes here in St. Paul. This is my daughter, Anna. Anna was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, with asthma, and she also suffers from allergies. The school nurse is not a luxury for her. It's part of everyday life. It's part of reality. For her, the school nurse means being able to eat a cupcake when someone has a birthday party. It means being able to join a pizza party when the class achieves something. It means being able to participate in gym class and in recess without worrying about an asthma attack or without her blood sugar dropping. It lets her be a normal kid. As a parent, I entrust her life to the professional care of a nursing staff that we work with daily. The nursing staff helps us manage her symptoms, it helps us communicate with her care team, and it makes it part of her ability to integrate into this education system. It also means that as a parent, I don't have to leave work multiple times a day to come dose her or administrate asthma medication. It's an issue of safety. Thank you. It's an issue of safety and life and death. I'll leave you with this. It's easy to assume when you hear private school that it's a conjure image of someone who goes to a country club or for people who are very affluent. I'm a single working father of 4, and I'm in charge of my children's tuition by myself. It is because of thank you. It is because of very generous donors and the support of our state that allows Anna to have access to textbooks and to the most vital care of a nurse. We rely on their support for essential services, and it makes it so we don't have to prioritize her life and her care over our job and our ability to provide stability. I ask you guys to vote against defunding and find another option that's good for everybody. Thank you.
Please don't take away my school nurse.
Do you know what today is? Today is National School Nurse Day. How about that? Hey, I think we should just do what Anna said. Don't take away my school nurse.
We're now going to hear from a legislative champion, Senator Julia Coleman, who represents District 48, is a graduate of Hill Murray School in St. Ambrose, and is a champion against these cuts. Senator Julia Coleman, welcome to the stage.
Good afternoon. I gotta tell you, when I talk about how important it is to keep this funding for our private schools, the amount of pushback I get that I'm just supporting affluent families. Well, I want to tell you about a little girl whose mother was a small business owner and whose father was a Ramsey County deputy sheriff. Now, this little girl went kicking and screaming when a new school, St. Ambrose of Woodbury, opened up down the road. She didn't want to wear uniforms. She didn't want to be in what she thought would be a stuffy, strict environment, but quickly fell in love with the dedicated teachers, the kind students, and the high expectations being placed on her for the first time in her life. That little girl went on to go to Hill Murray. She found herself being raised by a single father with 4 children who worked not 1, not 2, but 3 jobs to keep his daughter at Hill Murray. And that still wasn't enough. It was through the generosity of the Archdiocese, the scholarships, and, well, the programs through the state that she was able to stay there. She went on to become the youngest woman ever elected to the state Senate, the Republican lead on education, and a mother to 3 little boys. My time at St. Ambrose in Hill Murray, while going through a tough divorce in my family, provided me a family at school. It provided me a place to call home. It provided me teachers that were willing to do tutoring for no extra pay while Dad was working 3 of those jobs. This isn't about protecting affluent families. This is about protecting the only chance we have for school choice in this state. And what the governor is proposing is incredibly narrow-minded. Imagine the strain on our public school system if we did not have these options for students. We could not afford it in this state, I can tell you right now. We need to keep these high-quality institutions open. And as the Republican lead on education, you have my word that we will put a line in the sand when it comes to this. We will fight tooth and nail